Zambian Member of Parliament Binwell Mpundu has made a bold declaration ahead of the 2026 presidential elections, stating that if elected, he will formally request assistance from the British government to combat entrenched corruption within Zambia's public institutions. This statement, which has sparked widespread debate across political and civic circles, underscores the growing frustration among opposition figures and reform-minded leaders regarding the perceived inefficacy of domestic anti-corruption mechanisms. Mpundu, who recently launched a new political movement named Ichaba, positions himself as a reformist alternative to the current administration, which he accuses of failing to uphold transparency, accountability, and democratic values. The MP's pledge to seek foreign intervention, specifically from the United Kingdom, reflects a strategic and symbolic gesture. Britain, as Zambia's former colonial power and a long-standing diplomatic partner, represents both historical complexity and institutional credibility. By invoking British support, Mpundu signals a desire to restore international confidence in Zambia's governance while simultaneously challenging the status quo. His statement also raises questions about sovereignty, external influence, and the role of global partnerships in domestic reform. While some critics argue that inviting foreign governments into internal affairs undermines national autonomy, others view it as a pragmatic move to leverage external expertise and pressure in dismantling corrupt networks that have proven resistant to local oversight. Mpundu's rhetoric aligns with a broader trend among African opposition leaders, who increasingly frame their reform agendas within transnational narratives. By referencing the British government, he taps into a legacy of institutional rigor and anti-corruption frameworks that many Zambians perceive as lacking in their own bureaucratic systems. This approach also resonates with younger voters and civil society actors who are disillusioned with traditional party politics and seek tangible solutions to systemic issues. The MP's pledge to seek foreign intervention, specifically from the United Kingdom, is not merely a campaign slogan. It is a calculated attempt to redefine the contours of political accountability in Zambia, and to position his candidacy within a global discourse on governance and reform. The formation of Ichaba marks a significant shift in Zambia's political landscape. Mpundu's movement aims to consolidate grassroots support while offering a clear ideological departure from both the ruling party and established opposition blocs. His emphasis on anti-corruption, institutional renewal, and international cooperation suggests a platform rooted in technocratic governance and civic empowerment. Analysts note that Mpundu's strategy could appeal to urban constituencies, professional classes, and diaspora communities who are increasingly vocal about the need for structural change. However, the success of such a platform will depend on its ability to translate rhetorical commitments into actionable policies and to navigate the complex terrain of Zambian electoral politics. The MP's statement also invites scrutiny of Zambia's current anti-corruption architecture. Despite the existence of agencies such as the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, critics argue that enforcement remains selective, politically motivated, and hampered by limited resources. Mpundu's call for British involvement implicitly critiques these institutions and suggests that domestic efforts have failed to deliver meaningful results. This critique is not new, but its articulation by a sitting MP with presidential ambitions adds weight to the conversation and forces a re-evaluation of existing frameworks. It also raises the stakes for the 2026 elections, transforming the campaign into a referendum on governance, integrity, and Zambia's place in the international community. In the broader context of Southern African politics, Mpundu's stance reflects a growing appetite for reformist leadership that challenges entrenched patronage systems. His appeal to Britain may be controversial, but it is also indicative of a strategic recalibration, one that seeks to align Zambia with global standards of transparency and rule of law. Whether his approach will resonate with voters remains to be seen, but it undeniably shifts the narrative and introduces new variables into the electoral equation. As the campaign unfolds, observers will be watching closely to see how Mpundu's message evolves, how his movement gains traction, and whether his promise of international collaboration can translate into domestic legitimacy. Ultimately, Binwell Mpundu's declaration is more than a political promise. It is a provocation, a challenge to the existing order, and a call for a new kind of leadership. By pledging to enlist British support in the fight against corruption, he positions himself as a candidate willing to confront uncomfortable truths and to pursue unconventional solutions. In doing so, he opens a new chapter in Zambia's political story, one that could redefine the boundaries of reform, sovereignty, and democratic renewal in the years to come.